Hello YouTube. So I know I haven't done a card review in a really long time, but that's because I haven't had anything to do them on. Like I haven't had anything to record them on. Technically I still don't have a video camera, so I'm filming this on my phone right now, and it's a pain in the butt to do films on my phone, but I really wanted to do a review for this deck because I haven't been able to find any on YouTube yet. I've seen unboxings for this deck, but I haven't been able to find anybody that's done an actual review. So, yeah, I'll be reviewing the Vision Quest Tarot by Gayan S. Winter and Joe Doze. And I probably didn't pronounce that right, but whatever. So this is the box that they come in. It's just a cardboard box, but it's actually a pretty good cardboard box. It's not super thin. It's actually weathered everything that I've put it through. So, and this is what I keep my cards in. It's got a description of the cards on the back, and it's got the artwork from the High Priestess card on the front, which in this deck is the Medicine Woman. So yeah, that's the deck it comes in. And it comes with this little white book, which is actually a pretty thick little white book. So yeah, in here you've got an introduction from the author and the artist, okay, and then it's got a little explanation of the differences in the major arcana and the minor arcana. So if this is your first deck, then this is something, this will really help you out. Then it's got an explanation of the symbols in this deck. And in this deck they actually do it a little differently. So in place of the suits, they have air for swords, earth for pentacles, water for cups, and fire for wands. And every one of those suits has their own specific symbols, so it's like you don't really need the names on the cards to figure out what they are, which is kind of nice that they included this in this book. And then they've got preparing for a session, which is preparing, it's telling you how to use the deck. And they put 5 different spreads in here. That's 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5. So yeah, there are 5 spreads included in this little booklet. And then you've got, you go right into the major arcana. And there are no, there's no reproduction pictures in this little booklet, which is the only thing I don't like about this booklet. Otherwise this is a fantastic booklet. So a lot of the names for the major arcana have been changed. And it actually tells you in this book what each one relates to. So for instance, the clown relates to the fool. And then this is for every single card in this book. You have a little section with keywords. So it's just a quick little reference. You don't have to read the entire thing every time you look up a card. And then you have an inner message and an outward message. So, and that's for every single card in the deck. So even though there are no reproduction pictures in this deck, you actually have to have the deck with you when you read this book. It's a really in-depth little booklet, and it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Great little book. So some of the artwork on these cards. This is the back of the cards, and I actually, when you first get the cards, there's a white border around them. And that was making me crazy, so I cut it off. So this is the artwork on the back. It's a night sky with the eagle flying through it. It's beautiful. And for not only did they change the suits and some of the names for the major arcana, but they also are using, in place of page, knight, king, and queen, they're using daughter, son, mother, and father, which is really awesome. And every single, on all the court cards, you get a person, and they're usually doing something that relates to their suit. So the daughter of water, she's, pouring forth water. But yeah. So the artwork on these cards is absolutely stunning. And Also, another really cool thing that I like about these cards is that for cards 2 through 10 on the 4 suits, you get a little keyword on every single card, which for me, that helps me a lot, but I know for a lot of people it really doesn't. It just bugs them, and it halts their intuition, and they don't like it. So I've actually seen people completely trim these cards, like they even cut off the name and keyword, and they just kept the pictures, which would be fine, you know, if you are able to interpret images just as images, like you don't need any words to go with them. So, but me, I do. Because each of these cards is actually really easy to tell which suit they belong to because of the symbols explained in the little booklet. So this would be another one for water because it's bowls. So, yeah. And see, this is one of the major arcana. This is the Shaman, which would be the Hierophant in traditional tarot. The artwork on these cards is just fantastic. Like, I am so in love with these cards. Here's the sun with the hummingbirds on it, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So here's one from Earth. It's the 9 of Earth. But yeah, I've actually found this deck to be really, really easy to use because it, you know, it's really easy to interpret with the keyword and, you know, the symbols put into the different suits. And it's incredibly user-friendly. This deck responded to me right away. So, you know, and it responds to pretty much everyone that I know. You know, I don't usually let people touch my cards, but when I do, these cards are super responsive. They are ready and willing to help in any way that they can. And, you know, as you can see, they're, you know, based on native teachings, which is, you know, for me, that made this deck the perfect deck for me. So, but, yeah. Really friendly, really beautiful, very, very easy to interpret. I wouldn't use this deck for a beginner deck, like the very first deck that you use. If you're just starting off learning to use the tarot, this is not the deck that I would get. Only because it would confuse the crap out of you. Because you're not familiar yet with the tarot symbols, and then having them changed up on you would be really confusing. So as a very, very, very beginner deck, I would not recommend this. However, I would recommend it for a secondary deck. Like after you've studied for a little bit and you kind of have a grasp on the different symbols and meanings for the cards, then this would be a wonderful deck. And if you haven't done tarot for a really long time and you want to get back into it, again, this would be a really great deck. So, it was only like $14 or $15 on Amazon, pretty cheap. I'll actually put the link to it down in the description. I love this card. It's got Hawk up there, and Hawk is my totem. But, so yeah, you know, a lot of these cards have really fantastic images on them, like the Hermit. If you're familiar at all with animal spirit guides, then you'll understand the significance of having a bear on this card. So a lot of the cards do that. They have animals on them, they have plants on them, various symbols that are meaningful for each card. And because of that, they're really easy to interpret. So you add that to the fact that they're really user-friendly, and this is just a fantastic deck. You know, and of course they're absolutely beautiful. They're not just easy to interpret, but they're beautiful. So, yeah, that is my review for this deck. That would be the Vision Quest Tarot. So, this is my favorite deck, and I enjoy working with it a lot. And I'm really hoping that anybody that decides to give it a shot after seeing this enjoys working with it as much as I have. So yeah, thanks for watching.